Good afternoon and welcome to Have Chat. I'm Audrey Lynch with my beautiful co-star Judy Loge. Hello, Judy.
Hello, Audrey. I was saying how beautiful and bright that yellow is, and it just makes us have more sunshine today.
Yes, definitely. We've got a great show lined up for our viewers today, and the summer has finally hit. We have absolutely beautiful weather.
Beautiful weather.
I wanted to feel and show the sunshine that we're feeling here in Miramichi right now and enjoy it. And I hope everybody got a chance to enjoy it over the weekend.
So thankful.
Like I said, we have a great show lined up for you. And we want to start off our show like we always do with a quote of the day. And Judy, you're up, sweetie.
Try to find a really positive one.
Okay.
So even though it's 1 p.m. at Rogers Station here in Miramichi, and of course we are live.
Yes.
I want to say that the quote starts off with good morning. So I'll change that slightly to good afternoon. It's a new week, a new series of days for light and hope and trying, and a new opportunity to be in the world with all we've got, no matter how tender we are. We can do this. Eyes up, let's go. By Esme Weijing Wang.
That's lovely.
It's very positive,
beautiful.
right?
Very, very, very positive. Sure,
and that's
definitely.
all we can do with what, like he said, no matter how tender you are, meaning broken, fragile, hurting, delicate, we still have to maneuver through the rest of the week and the month and the year ahead. So no matter what it brings us, we've just kind of, like you said, eyes up, focus on what you've got to do and get through it somehow.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. That's just it. There's always that energy out there that can swing your day around. You know what I mean?
Positive energy.
Exactly.
Find your positive energy.
There's always something that you can find in your day or your week that can get you through.
Even good music, just to pump up some good volume.
Music is my thing. I'm not even up out of bed in the morning and it's like click, I got to have the radio. I've got to have my music. And for me, I find listening to the kind of music that you like and you enjoy can really change your mood.
And take yourself away from everything. You focus on the lyric and something, if it's a positive lyric, even more so.
Yes, exactly.
Wonderful.
That's just it. So now tell us, you had a busy weekend, was it? Or
no, the week before the holiday. I went with my dear friend, lifelong friend to Chicago, who I have not spent time with.
Oh, yes, I've seen.
In a while, and we grew up together.
Okay.
And she's an angel of a friend. She's a beautiful person who, when you pick a person to go away on a trip with, you want somebody that shares your own similar type of thing to do.
Yes.
So she's not like a real night hawk, and she's not early bird like some people have to be up with the birds, and start their day at 5 a.m.
Yes.
It's not me.
That's not you.
And and she's easygoing. Don't you want to be with someone that is a great companion that says, let's do this?
When you're traveling, for sure, you want to have the same kind of routine and mindset, for sure. Now, does this friend live in Chicago?
No, she lives in Halifax.
Okay, so the two got together and went down to Chicago.
Yeah.
And what did you do in Chicago?
Well, first of all, the weather was perfect. We were experiencing rain here, so I was so happy to get away to temperatures that were like this, basically only maybe 10 degrees hotter with no humidity, which was beautiful.
Okay.
And I happen to love Chicago. It's the windy city, but thank goodness for the air, there's no wind.
No.
And we just enjoyed one another's company, had amazing food. Are you a food lover?
I am. I like trying things, for sure.
Good food and a change of cuisine.
Definitely.
I wish we had more of, and maybe that's yet to come in Miramichi.
Well, I think in Chicago you would have such a wide variety of being able to try everything from one end of the globe to the other.
If you want Indian, Lebanese, Thai, you name it, you got it. You just have to ask where and how far. And so I enjoyed some really good food.
Did you really?
What was really exciting was we got tickets to Production Hamilton, which was
so this is just a play.
Yes, it's a production.
And
it's, of course, it was written by the historian Ron Chernow about the American founding father Alexander Hamilton.
Okay.
So it's all about Alexander Hamilton. And if you know anything about the dollar bills in the U.S., his picture is still on the $10 U.S. bill.
Oh, you're kidding.
You're going to see his face.
Right.
When George Washington was president in 1789, he appointed this Alexander Hamilton to be the first Secretary of Treasury.
Okay.
So he had a role to play, and the ratification of the Constitution, all of that, he played a huge part.
So now this play, is it based on actual events?
Yes,
okay,
yes.
Okay.
But Audrey, the cool thing about it was Lin-Manuel Miranda, who took the book that was written by Ron Chernow, he turned into another book. He did the music, the lyrics, he wrote the play. It took him about 7 years to do it.
Oh, you're kidding.
About 7 years, but it's all rap and other songs. So in other words, if we're in a play and we're using general dialogue, he did all through song. So every single thing they did was through song or rap.
Oh, you're kidding.
There was no word that was spoken. It was all music. which is really hard to carry on.
It would be.
And the choreography was phenomenal, and also the costumes were outstanding. It was just an amazing, amazing production. I'm so thrilled that I got to go.
Being able to turn something like that was a historical event and life and times of this man, and just take that and turn that into a musical.
And a fun production.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think that alone would be a trick in itself.
Well, I mean, I thought, first of all, I mean, it didn't really super appeal to me, the whole story about Alexander Hamilton, and I knew about George Washington and his presidential role and how he played the part in all of that, as I just said. But I didn't think it was going to be so much fun and intriguing.
Okay.
And then we went to the Shawn Mendes Alessia Cara concert.
Okay.
And it was wonderful.
Was it?
Well, it's just that there's two Canadian superstars right now. And he in particular, he's just raising the charts there with his new music. And he's only 20, he's going to be 21 years old. And he is from, let me think, he's from Pickering. And Alessia Cara is just going to turn 23 on July 11th. And she is from Brampton. And their voices are very unique. If you hear them on the radio, you'll know their voices.
Yes.
And I was well behaved at the concert.
Were you? I can just imagine.
I did it.
Front row? Front and center?
7th row.
Oh, not
7th
front.
row.
No.
It was all good,
Was
good,
it really good?
Yes.
So you had a great vacation.
I had a great vacation. It was just beautiful. With her, and laughs and belly laughs. You know when you go with your girlfriends, how much fun you have?
Yes. Oh, yes, definitely. Well, I have my little Pink Ladies crowds that we still get together every now and then. So
it's a wonderful group.
It's a different kind of environment, and all girls should do that.
All girls just want to have fun.
Yeah, exactly. We do.
And you do, and you have a lot of great friends, too.
Yeah.
They're very important in life, actually.
That's just it. So we want to mention that, and you've probably heard in the news, about the earthquake in California. But we also had some earthquakes right here in Canada as well, in BC. And I just want to read a little note, because these were actually quite significant.
Yes, they were.
Actually. So there was a series of earthquakes that have struck off the coast of BC since Wednesday. And a major earthquake had shook southern California on Thursday evening, reminding West Coast residents of the years-long fear that the Pacific Northwest is due for a big one. Right? So for years, experts have warned that the region is due for a major earthquake, potentially reaching a magnitude 9.0, killing thousands and causing waves up 20 meters high. Now this I believe was 6.2.
Are you talking about well, there was one that was registered as 7.1, the biggest tremor they've had in 20 years.
And that was in California.
That was like 240 kilometers northeast of Los Angeles.
Okay.
And that's pretty bad. And the liquor store stayed open. Everything, the power was out. People were scrambling and taking cover. And the liquor store, it said on CNN, is still live and ready for business. So drink your sorrows away, folks.
But that's a dangerous if you and I have done this actually because I've Googled earthquakes in Canada because I remember experiencing one as a child here in Brunswick. And so I went ahead and I Googled, since we have the internet now, all major, and that fault line, the San Andreas fault that runs through California, and that goes all the way up into Canada, up in through along there. So it is something to watch. I don't take that stuff lightly. I think that that's a real deal.
Serious
and here in New Brunswick, we're on the other side. And when you look to see if there's any fault lines, there is a number of them.
I know there are. I know. And California's been known over time to have this prediction coming, and they're expecting more, unfortunately, that we don't know what size to be coming in the next months. But, you know, I think I'd be moving to another area.
Closer to the center.
Get a houseboat.
Of America. Somewhere.
But
Speaking
no
of
fatalities,
the weather,
that's a good thing. No fatalities.
Quite a bit of damage or whatever, but no fatalities.
Thankfully.
So thankfully, for sure. But here in Miramichi in New Brunswick, I believe New Brunswick had the hottest temperatures in record of all of Canada. I think we reached 41 degrees, not counting the humidity.
Think so. I can believe that.
Yeah. So we finally had, it was a little heat wave. It lasted, I think, 3.5, almost 4 days. I hope that wasn't just it. I hope that wasn't our summer.
It won't be summer, but we're getting beautiful temperatures coming in the low to mid-20s with fresh air, but that was just killer humidity, wasn't it?
You didn't like it?
Oh, I don't like humidity.
Oh, well,
I find
hair.
It's just, not even the hair. No. Even if I was bald. No. I can't handle that breathless feeling.
If I'm going to be on a beach and I'm going to be enjoying a boat or the sun or the beach, I love the humidity to be up there. Yeah, I don't mind it at all. If I'm going to be in the water and swimming and enjoying it, I want it to be hot, hot.
Hot's good, but especially for people with asthma, I don't have that, but I know people that suffer and nasal problems. It's just
because the air is really heavy. I don't have any allergies. I don't have any issues with that, but I can only imagine how hard it is.
What people with lung ups. There was a man on the airplane I realized in Chicago was having some difficulty. We were a bit delayed leaving Chicago to Toronto, and he was very congested, and I was worried about him because they were waiting for their pilot to come on, co-pilot, and you could tell this man was gasping, and the stewardess was trying to attend to him, and I thought, oh, God love him, What a thing to not be able to breathe right.
No, I can't imagine. No. And, for those of you that fear actually going into the summer months and don't enjoy it as much as the rest of us do, definitely.
But live it up, because we're already into July now.
I know. There's 8 weeks before the kids go back to school. Shh. I wasn't supposed to say that. My daughter last night, actually, there was a commercial on TV and it was showing school supplies. And she was like, really?
Oh, I know. Please don't.
Please, can we not talk about that right now?
Exactly.
No, that's just it. So there was lots going on with grad parties and things like that. Now, I attended a grad party just last Friday and for my niece, and I have one coming up this weekend for another niece, and then I'll be hosting my own grad party for my son Reese at the end of the month. So I'm trying to spread it out so it doesn't, because it's all in the same family, and it can be expensive. And to have to run a grad party every weekend, so I'm spacing it out.
Good for you.
No.
You know what I find, too? I find that one thing, I know it's overwhelming, all these grad parties, and when they come, just rapidly one week after the other, through in 1 week. But you know what I take from it? It's a happy occasion. Right. And we are struggling in this day and age. There's so much negativity out there, whether it's in the media or just on the news, just so the newspaper's full of dismal, that I just love celebrating. And we had my nephew Kale's 18th birthday recently, and he also had his graduation this year from MV, and we had his grad party yesterday. My sister did for him, and a lot of my relatives came, like a lot from away.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and just such a happy time, right?
Yeah,
you're thinking, there's so many negative. Yeah, that it was happy, and I go home and thinking, wasn't it great to see so-and-so and celebrate and have cake and good conversation? And so that's what you got to do. You got to look and reach out for those
positive things and take the time to enjoy family and friends and things like that.
My sister's
because
home.
Those milestones are. Oh yes,
Jennifer's home. Welcome home, Jennifer from Toronto. She's been living in Toronto 10 years, and I think the next time she might allow me to say where she's making her next big move with her husband, Matt, but I might not be able to give the big secret away on live TV. So I'll say, but she is making a big move in her life to another place, and I'm happy for her.
Oh, my goodness. That's fantastic. That's exciting.
The next time. It is very exciting. Why not? You live once. You might as well live it up with your new young husband and travel and see the world, and you can always get a flight home.
No, that's true. That's totally true. Talking about living it up, there is so much to do in Miramichi this summer. I don't know if you've realized, but we've always talked about little different festivals, and I mean, we are the province or city
of festivals. We're right up there for the amount of top festivals that are. Oh yeah,
everything else. Like every little community even has their own little festival. Like Sunny Corner Days is coming up this weekend, and there'll be Beta Vin.
Rogersville has theirs.
Rogersville. I experienced the Rogersville concert that they had, the country concert that they had not too long ago. That was fantastic. And we just recently had the Rock and Roll Festival. There's so much to do here in Miramichi. I don't think some people realize, how much that you can actually take in here in Miramichi.
Check out the agenda that's going around the river on all the events, whether it's Giver in the River or whatever. Audrey, do you love all music, or do you mostly just love country?
No. I love all. Well, with a 15-year-old daughter who's got me listening to Shawn Mendes and Ariana Grande, which I apologize because apparently I pronounced that wrong every single time.
You got it right this time.
Okay. And I like my Rihanna, my Christina Aguilera, and my Jennifer Lopez. I love to be able to dance and move and a song with a good beat.
Me too.
But I'd have to say country music is my feel-good music.
And the Cavendish concert was this past weekend.
It was, and I didn't actually attend this year, but my daughter did. Carrie Underwood, she got to see her Saturday.
Huge star.
My daughter, I'd have to say, I was sort of surprised that she went because she's not one for big, huge crowds like that. And it was actually quite a bit overwhelming. It rained quite a bit, quite hard, for many hours during the concert and stuff. And then I'd have to say she was somewhat a little bit disappointed. Other performers for her were far better.
Did you say Carissa or Danae?
I don't know, what did I
No,
say?
no, which one? Which daughter went?
Teresa.
The older
Teresa,
girl,
the oldest
she
girl,
doesn't like
yep.
big crowds. Well,
I
it's
don't think she realized how
packed.
No, it was going to be, especially if you wanted to be down front and center and close to the stage. You know what I mean? It can be very overwhelming, claustrophobic, and things like that.
Totally,
right?
totally. Was there
Really
another big name too besides Carrie Underwood? Was it Luke Bryan not too long ago?
I'm going to see Luke Bryan.
You are going to see
August
him.
10th. He's going to be in the Hill in Moncton. Is what that one is. So
that's
I have big plans to go see that, rain or shine kind of thing. And he, like anytime you see any of his videos or when he's doing live, he's quite the entertainer. Like he's talkative to the audience and to his fans.
Hard to look at though.
Tall drink of water, I would have to say, that he is married, if I'm not mistaken.
I know, I'm just trying to be funny.
I had seen, a few years ago, Blake Shelton.
Oh, now he's just phenomenal as well. These are big names.
They are. They really are. And I mean, the fact that Luke Bryan's coming to Moncton, like that New Brunswick is bringing, this isn't the first time. We're bringing in quite big names.
I'm excited for you to be able to go to that. I know how much you love it.
No, I do. I truly do. I truly enjoy it. And I'd have to say, not against any other music fans or any other genres and stuff like that, but country music fans, we're a lot of fun. We're fun to be around.
Must be boring then. I'm not a big country fan. I don't consider myself boring, but I do like rock.
The newer country I find is a lot better. Some people like the older. I don't mind the older. Shania Twain. I listen to her album. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Tanya Tucker. You know, things like that. Dolly Parton.
I love her.
You know what I mean? I love that when it was out and popular now too, right?
I do too. I like it all. I pretty much like it all. No. Do you know what I saw? You may have seen, or you may want to see, the movie Yesterday, the British romantic comedy. About the Beatles, it is about the Beatles, but I don't want to give too much away.
I've seen the trailer for that. I would definitely want to see that one. I really do. I think that's something I'd want to see.
And Kate McKinnon's in it, the comedian from Saturday Night Live.
She is.
She's hilarious. Audrey, she was so funny that I laughed out loud at her constantly. She made it for me.
Was it? And you've seen it already?
I did in Chicago. No, it's here. Right, it is here though.
Oh,
but I saw it in Chicago, and I really loved it.
Oh, did you?
I do like some Beatles music too.
Did you see the Elton John?
No, I did not.
No, I didn't get to see that one either.
Just too busy to get here.
No, that's just it. It's hard to take them all in. Thank goodness that they do come out on a Blu-ray eventually. We do get to rent them if we want to.
You might want to see Yesterday. It was good.
Because I'm the movie buff. You're the theater buff.
I am.
Yeah. So we have some great guests lined up. We don't want you to miss a thing. So we'll be back right after the break. Don't go away. We'll be back with more Have a Chat. Back with more Have a Chat. Joining us now are our first guests. We have Judy Murphy joining us along with Anne Rendell. How are you, ladies?
Hello, ladies. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks for joining us today. Judy, first we're going to start off with you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are?
Well, I'm a Montrealer.
I love Montreal.
I do too.
Love it.
But I love the Maritimes more. I came to UNB. My children all grew up in Fredericton, and later I moved to Edmonton and became quite involved in adult education, adult literacy. I worked at the Edmonton John Howard Society, running actually a literacy and upgrading program, and I became very interested in adult learning, but also the impacts on learning. So many of the adults I was working with had issues of trauma and violence, and so with two other colleagues we started to explore how we could support learning given those experiences.
Right.
And that led me to using expressive arts and finding other ways into learning. And so thoroughly enjoyed the work, learned lots with and from adult learners, and then decided my heart was in the Maritimes, so chose to come back. So it was either Fredericton or St. John area, because I have grandchildren in both, and I'm now in St. John. Love it, happy to be here. And that really was sort of a bridge into the work with Elizabeth Fry. So
exactly.
Quite background you have.
Yes, definitely. And Anne, tell us a little bit about who you are.
I was born and grew up in Newfoundland, met my husband there.
Okay.
We've traveled all across the country, lived in 7 provinces, lived in France for a couple of years.
Oh, wow.
Got an opportunity to come here in 2002 and jumped at it.
Been here since 2002.
Yes, and I love it. I'm very relaxed and comfortable in Miramichi. It feels like home.
It is. We love having Anne and Bruce here.
Yeah. Well, the main reason that we have you ladies on today is the Elizabeth Fry Society. So for those our viewers who are watching today, can you tell us, Judy, a little bit about what exactly is this society?
I'm happy to. I'll just preface that, though. Often we say we don't know about E-Fry until we need an E-Fry.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
That's the saying.
But our work is really focused on women and girls. Women and girls who are vulnerable, have multiple issues or challenges in their lives that often add to the additional stigma being criminalized. So we help from a sort of a preventive piece, trying to support women in the community to develop their own strengths and assets, but also work with women and to support women going through the justice system. So that transition through it, but also coming back to the communities afterwards.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Fry, wasn't she born in the 1700s? I mean,
early.
Like, so how did this society
1780 or something? Isn't she was born, I think.
Well, the sad thing is she was in the 1800s in England, in London, and her work, she came from a fairly affluent family. She was drawn to the plights of women and children, and so visited the prisons and would bring clothing, food, etc. Because at that time the children would be with the mothers in the prison. And aside from that piece has changed, unfortunately, we still say we're bringing closed women in prison. So on one side, not much has changed, but other things, of course, have, thank goodness. But no, our namesake really was the one who started to bring public attention to the play women.
I mean, I know a few things about her. They called her Betsy, didn't they? They called her the Angel of Prisons.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
She was such a good woman about reform and compassion and change.
Exactly.
And
so those things are still certainly rooted in our organization.
You're the because I failed to mention that, you're the executive director for the Elizabeth Fry Society in St. John, correct?
That's right. Well, we say Elizabeth Fry Society of St. John.
Okay.
However, that was named, we've been in business for over 3 decades now with that particular organization. And a lot of the work was done supporting women when women were housed in St. John, incarcerated in the provincial prison. And in 2014, when they were moved to Miramichi, the focus shifted somewhat. So I've been with E-Fry for 3.5 years now in that particular role. We've taken time to sort of step back and look at ourselves. We did a strategic planning session 3 years ago when I first started, and invited 14 community partners, including those from corrections and the community, to look at where we are, but what's needed, and fill in the gaps, because we didn't want to duplicate services. But at that time it was identified, yes, we're Elizabeth Fry St. John, but the needs are provincial. So we were very excited to entertain the ideas with Anne.
And I was going to say, so Anne, how do you fit into all of this?
More region of Brunswick.
I've known a few people who've gone through the system and seen how they are when they come out. And I know I contacted Judy. She had 50 volunteers or something of that number in St. John who would actually take women to medical appointments or things like that. And here we have to start from scratch.
Yes.
But
Right.
I'm dreaming about 20 volunteers.
Because in Miramichi, we don't have a chapter, correct?
No,
that's-
the main office is in St. John, and work has been there for 30 years because that's where the correction for facility for women was.
Okay.
But now it's here.
Yes.
Right.
So we need to establish
See,
a section here
Yeah,
to
a base
service
camp
the
here.
women because
And
they are here.
I've always worked in the Justice Department area.
Yeah.
In life, that's what I worked, in. So I've done work with the groups at the women's facility out here and spent time, not a lot of time, but I see the need, as you both do, for women to have better than what they have when
Yes.
they're able to get out again and cope with their children
Well,
and their families.
everybody's coming
get back
out.
into the regular world again.
Yeah.
And my
No.
heart, there's some situations there that's just because of a certain factor that they're in the first place, whether it's a drug
Yeah.
issue or it could be just that got them, in there.
no,
And
their
they're
environment is
Yes.
huge. Their home life, like when they do leave where they're leaving, going back into the same environment where they got sick in the first place, you know what I mean? And without having that support system while they are incarcerated to let them know that they can do better and be better.
Yeah.
And surround yourself with the right people when you get out is a big help
Yes.
to get those.
So
those
is that what this
positives.
society helps them with and gives them the tools to do these things?
We do. We start sort of where the women are because we feel they know
Yeah.
their own answers.
Right.
And then from there, we're look at ourselves almost as connectors. So we can't do all the services.
Right.
Well, there are lots of community agencies that are doing wonderful work. So for us, it's really connecting with the women inside, which and will be
Right.
play a very huge role here, and then be able to provide the community supports as they transition.
Could be
out. So-
literacy. They might need help learning to either read or to just improve their reading skills. Could be anything like that. Could
Yeah,
be just
social
going in
skills,
and
life skills.
Well, that's what I was doing, was going in and
Yeah.
where self-esteem was, had taken such a dip when they went in behind. Their self-worth
Yes.
was so low, many of them, that I was there to give positive talks and encouragement and how to point out that everybody has value and worth and that this is what it takes to get that back. No matter what situation you're placed in, whether it's behind bars or wherever on the street even, people are valuable.
Absolutely. And we find, too, our focus is women compared to men in the sense that that's what we do. And the reason being is that what leads women to the correctional system is very different from men. The crimes may be the same, but if you look at the underlying factors, they're very different from men, and so the solutions need to be different.
Right.
And so if women statistically have a higher rate of mental health challenges or issues that they're dealing with, but you think about the majority of women in the institutions are mums. The majority of those have the primary responsibility as caregivers.
Right.
So if you're separating from the children, that in itself, to me, is
Traumatizing.
going to
Yeah.
absolutely
We know what we're like,
increase
fierce bears with our
That
dogs.
fail that
depression
right there
and
automatically.
anxiety, all kinds of mental health issues. And then on top of that, if poverty is another factor, huge challenges to come back into the community and really needing the supports. They know what they have to do, but in order to have the network or the support, that circle of support around them is absolutely
exactly.
A lot of
critical,
young
just to give the space and that sense of safety to
young
be
women in
able
there
to-
as well. When I was working with them, I
Absolutely.
found they were just like kids to me.
Absolutely.
I was a grown, adult, and
Right.
they were just girls in
Right.
my mind. A lot of them.
So our question too is the institutionalization the best route to go? And
Right.
so what we would like to do is create more supports in the community to look at the community as an alternative to incarceration.
Yes.
And we're not saying that we condone if someone has done something wrong, there has to be a consequence.
Definitely.
Let's look
Yeah.
at the solutions. And what draws women, as I say, to be in prison or in connection with the justice system is very often a social systemic issue.
Right.
So we talked about the poverty,
Yes.
we talked about single moms, we talked about trauma.
Abuse,
And so these are
feeling.
community responsibilities,
It's
right?
true.
Not just on the individual. So-
And you said you were involved at some point, seeing young people that were involved in that behind in jail and got out. And so talk about your experience and why you saw the need.
Well, I saw someone come out who was very poor shape, and that stayed with me for a long time. And as I've been retired now for a few years, just had more time to look around the community and see what I could do to offer anything to anyone. Nice. And I found Judy.
Very nice. Looked her up and saw what she was doing. I know, you want to have something established just in your machine.
Yeah, so we're arranging a night here in September at the college. And there's a film, which is women who are incarcerated they're in the film, okay? It's not actors or anything like that.
True life.
And you can see that they're just real people. You're going to be standing in the supermarket by one of them next week.
That's what I found. They were just like you and I. Just circumstances were so unfortunate, but I thought, look at this beautiful young girl out there that's a single mom of a baby or twins. I was just appalled that they were behind bars. You know, I know they'd gotten there for a reason, but as you said, the circumstance that led to that, where else was she going to end up, basically?
More or less, she was on the road to there. Anyway, I felt we should do something here because the Correctional Institute is here. And so that's my role. Good. And it's to, one, let people know we're here now, to come and see the film. And we're going to be inviting quite a lot of people. And learn about Elizabeth Fry, and if you think you could offer something. I know one of the quilt groups here has actually gone in and taught people some sewing skills. Good. I know that people here are going in and teaching literacy. Music is something I enjoy, and I'm hoping we can share that with some people. It could be something just going in, playing bingo.
What about even a book club then? You know, why not?
There's so much. I think
once-day literacy.
So much. I think there's so much richness here in Miramichi and such a community.
Music
feeling
is
that
prominent.
That I think there'd be a wealth of talents that people could share with women in the institution. No question. I just wanted to go back, just as an example, you're talking about the challenges for women, but we were assisting one woman who, a single mom, had just finished MBCC. She'd taken a human services program, looking forward to work, but poverty was an issue, and she was desperate. She stole a box of Pampers for her baby. She was caught. She returned the box, but she was still charged. So she came to court. It was a conditional sentence, which included a fine. So she met all the steps of her conditional sentence, which means then your record is taken away. Right. However, it takes 2 years for it to come off.
To clear.
You're clear. So here she is.
Ineligible for employment.
Especially in the human services field, because the record check is almost mandatory all the way through. So for 2 years, she's not able to work in her field, having put in that education. So when she is ready to go back and be employed, the employer is going to say, well, what about the gap? Tell me about too. So I share that because, as I say, it's crimes of poverty very often.
I know.
And yet, once you get into that cycle of corrections involvement, it's so hard to come out. Which really, I say, it may be coming in and doing bingo. It may be coming in doing a reading or writing. But the first step is the connection, the relationship building through that. And then you learn what the women need coming back into the community. Okay, what are the volunteers that we have in the community that can support that? And not just in Miramichi. We have a toll-free number with the institutions, both federal and provincial.
Well, we'll get to announce that.
But it's very different to have phone call and to have that face, that connection, that body. So we can provide the supports if they're coming to St. John or to Moncton, to Fredericton, but it's the beginning of that relationship building that's going to happen through Anne and volunteers here.
Do you have the night established for September when you're going to meet yet?
It's the 8th, September the 8th.
September the 8th.
The film is called Conviction, and it follows 4 women in the federal prison in Truro, the federal and the Nova Institution for Women.
Okay.
It's done by 3 filmmakers out of Halifax. It's with the National Film Board, but we have permission to show it. So it's just being launched this fall. We're very excited.
Well,
and what we're hoping to do, as Anne mentioned, is invite people to the film, but also have almost like a town hall discussion afterwards
Oh,
to
after the
explore
film? Okay.
the focus.
What their thoughts and feelings are
The
on what
focus
they've just
is
seen.
this, yeah, exactly. And the focus for the women was, what would keep me out of, what would life be like if, what would it look like differently if there wasn't, if I wasn't being incarcerated? Like, what
All
else
these
could
other
happen?
resources.
With that,
So
I take
it would be really
That's right.
interesting to.
Well, let me
hear
get you
the
to give us
community.
that. Believe it or not, we are out of time.
Aw,
We're about to
my
go to
goodness.
break.
That goes
Just like
fast.
that. So the 1-800 number
you.
that you mentioned, I want to make sure.
I don't have it on
Oh, my land. I'm sorry.
But I will
threw you
tell
under
you,
the
you
bus.
can share.
Okay,
and,
we'll share it on our
it's,
Facebook
it's
page.
posted in the two
It is.
institutions, so
Okay.
the women have access
Perfect.
to it there.
September
yes.
8th is going to be in
Yeah,
Miramichi this evening for
definitely.
the
So this is the first announcement publicly.
Great.
So
That's
we will be
fantastic.
sharing
Thank
that.
you so much for joining us, Judy.
Thank you for
and
having
thank you
us.
as well.
Wonderful information.
We'll be back with more Have a Chat after the break. Don't go away. We actually have royalty coming.
Yes.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to Have a Chat. Joining us now for our second guest, believe it or not, is a little bit of royalty, Miss Teenage New Brunswick. Hello, Farrah McGraw.
Yes.
You look
Hi.
beautiful.
Hello.
Thank you.
Why are you wearing
Stunning.
my crown? And she keeps stealing my crown.
I'm
Audrey.
pretty sure this one's hers. Very well deserved, very well earned.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Farrah, for joining us today. Now, you were just crowned May 2019 Miss Teenage New Brunswick.
Yes.
That's fantastic. And you are actually from Miramichi,
Yes,
correct?
I am from Miramichi.
Okay, so tell our viewers a little bit about who you are specifically, in case there's someone who doesn't know.
Yeah. So I'm 18 years old and I just graduated from École Carrefour Beau Soleil, so I speak French and English. And I have a sister and a stepsister, so that's really interesting.
Three
Yes.
girls.
Yes, 3 girls. And I have 4 dogs. That's interesting.
That's very interesting.
That's a lot?
Yes.
You beat me.
No, that's just it. Now,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about, now, how did you get involved with even trying out and competing, I believe is
Yes.
what it would be called, for this title?
Yeah. Well, I first started competing in 2012.
Okay.
So a while back, and
Okay.
it was because I saw like pageants on TV, and I really wanted to give it a try. So
Okay.
I told my mom, and we found one online,
Right.
and I ended up going to the Miss Maritime 2012 pageant,
Okay.
the Miss Teen
And you would have
Maritime.
been how old?
I would have been 12.
12
a young
yourself.
girl.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes, 12. And I fell in love with pageants, and I've just been competing ever since.
Oh, for goodness sake.
With that, the first thing I think of when you say all that is that you have to have really good confidence.
Yes.
That didn't, if you're like me, you didn't have to build up towards that. It was something you feel like you were kind of born with.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. You definitely have to have a good confidence before
Self-esteem.
going in, self-esteem. But it does build a lot of self-esteem while you're there, and
At
a
the
lot of
same
confidence. Yes. There's a lot of girls that first join and they're a little shy, but then they start competing and they just break out of their shell.
Yes, exactly. Now, were you doing any sports, or had you been on stage for any other reason, dance, or
Yeah, I
along
love
the
to
way?
dance, love
Okay.
to sing.
Okay.
I was always in like this little talent show.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Yes.
Singing and dancing?
Mostly singing and yeah, I guess both.
Very nice.
Yes.
You have to have
Yeah,
a
so
talent.
you were,
Yes.
you were not no stranger to the stage,
I
right?
was in the drama club for 2 years at my
There you
school.
go.
So
It's just a pretty face.
no.
No, exactly. So now, take us through a little bit of the actual competition itself. What was required of you as a contestant?
Well, for me to get this title, I competed in the Miss Teen Maritime International Pageant in 2018.
Okay.
And with that, there's a biography. You have to raise money for a charity.
Okay.
You have to get your own money to go.
Right.
There's an interview, which is very intense. Yes.
Right.
There's a lot of different questions, and there's on stage. So there's the evening gown. There's fun fashion. There's a choreography you have to learn, and there's an on-stage question. So that's going to be really fun.
That's unknown. Right?
Yes, it's unknown. Yes,
that's my favorite part. I've gotten to actually not host this caliber. I've attended Miss Universe pageant twice with friends, but it was exciting.
Yes.
The questions always kind of the deal breaker for me. No matter how beautiful inside and outside the contestant, that
you can really
ultimately gives me that was the best answer.
Yes. Yeah. It's usually that really decides the winner. That and the interview is very important.
Very, yeah.
Yes.
Can you recall your question, the big question?
The question that I had on stage was, what is the biggest challenge facing your generation?
And?
I said bullying.
I'm with you on that one.
Yes.
Fair. I have a big issue with it.
It's really a hard thing to go through, and it ruins the kids' self-esteem a lot of the time.
Well, it's boys and girls,
yes,
it's
everybody.
across the board. It's
yes.
not one gender or the other when it comes to bullying.
Yes.
Adult bullying as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Were you ever bullied?
No.
Wonderful.
No, I was. My school was really small, so there was never really that many.
You were close.
Yes, we were really
group.
close, and I tend to stay away from drama. So
peacemaker, more of a peacemaker.
Yes, yeah.
Did you have any hesitation on your question at all did it come bling just like that?
It came pretty quick. Yes.
Good, you knew.
Yeah.
What good answer,
Yes.
though. And now you're preparing to go on to another
yes.
big event.
This gives you the right to go on and
compete at Miss Teenage Canada.
Oh,
yes.
exciting.
You leave tomorrow,
I leave
correct?
tomorrow,
Okay.
yes. And then the pageant is on Sunday, the 14th.
Okay. I have goosebumps.
I
And
know,
she's not even
it's
my
so
child.
exciting.
She's from Miramichi, so that is just...
Yeah, and your parents are so proud.
Oh, yeah,
your
they're very
siblings
proud,
and
yes.
grandparents
Okay.
and everybody, friends, family, like.
Oh, yeah.
So what was your prep like now for this one?
Well, we had to have a blog, so I have 3 blog posts up right now.
Okay.
And so those are just to kind of let everybody know about you and that kind of stuff. Support, yes. I have social media. I have my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter that we all have to keep up.
That people can follow your journey day by day.
Yes, they can follow my
leading up
journey.
to the...
Leading up to and while I'm there as well.
Can they watch events online?
There is a final event will be online. They haven't said the link yet, but it will be in my social media.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you more
as soon as you
excited or
find out.
nervous?
I'm very excited.
You're really more excited about all
Yes, I've wanted
this.
to compete at Miss Teenage Canada since I was 13 years old.
A dream?
Yes, it was a dream. I met former title holder Julian Martin, and I just... she's so relatable, and I just really wanted to follow in her footsteps.
You looked up to her?
Yes.
What type of regimen do you have to go through? Is there exercising? Is there what to keep your physique? Is there a certain requirement for that?
There isn't a requirement for your
right.
physique, no, but there is a swimsuit fitness competition,
Okay.
which will be on stage during the preliminaries as well, and it's more to see like how you can set goals and achieve your goals.
Okay.
It's not necessarily
About weight.
weight.
No, that should not be either. That would be very discriminatory.
Exactly.
However, I personally think I'm of the mind that when you look after yourself as you have, and as Audrey has, and I try to, that it says something about your self-will and control to be the best person you possibly be. Eat healthy and to try to keep fit. Exercise is such an important part of your well-being, right?
Yes.
No,
and
well, it
healthy
doesn't
eating.
help just physically. It's a mental thing as well.
And
your mind.
Inside your stomach. And everything else is just going to go all together if you're looking after yourself.
Now, if you were to win this, now isn't there something that you have, I'm going to lose the lack of the word I'm trying to say, but you were required to, with this title, perform certain
if I were to
duties.
win Miss Teenage Canada, it comes with $10,000 in cash and prizes.
Oh, you can just do it half and half. You can just each take 5.
So, and with that, you get to go to compete internationally, which is very interesting. I really hope I get to go internationally. I love to travel.
Right.
Yes, and there's
like you
appearances that you have to do.
Things
Yes,
like
and
that.
volunteering. You get to travel kind of different
job.
places. Yes, it is a job. Yeah,
It is a job that you would have to take
But
on.
you did graduate and you had plans for post-secondary education. What would
Yes,
it be?
I'm going to University of Moncton.
Yes.
And I'll be going into the pre-med program.
Good for you.
So
Yeah.
that's a
Now-
2-year program. And
Right.
after that, I wanted to go into dentistry.
How would this all pan out in your plan should you win the Miss Teen Canada?
I would have the weekends that I could do appearances and things like that.
Yeah, they're not. I
Exactly.
couldn't imagine them
Take your schooling.
No, exactly.
No.
Having it interfere with that, they would
And then
definitely work
during the
around that
summer, I'd
schedule.
also be able to do
Right.
things during the breaks, that kind of thing.
You're kind of a young lady.
Yes.
What is your platform for this upcoming
Yes.
pageant?
My platform is literacy and youth.
Great.
So for that, it's just really important that kids are reading at grade level by grade 3, because afterwards you
It's
just
a ladder.
Exactly.
You're constantly climbing.
So over the summer, I'm working with Cradle to Career Miramichi,
Oh, good.
Right.
and I'm working with the summer camp at Care for Beau Soleil.
It's a great
And
program.
yes, I have a few kids that have shown difficulty reading, and I go one-on-one with them. I get them to read. We do activities with literacy, and
So
just,
essential, right?
Yes,
The reading.
It is.
Yes.
Literacy.
It really is.
The Rotary
No.
Club of
It
Chatham.
is. I mean, I
sponsors
have
it as
4
well.
children, and reading to them when they're little, and they are all so different.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And with what, what it is that they're able to grasp at what age, it truly is,
Yeah.
very, very important. And I'd have to agree that it is, in this day and age, to see some of my children struggle with it, flabbergasts me.
Yes.
That is still an issue.
With texting and all of that, they're
Yes.
into short form everything. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
we lose cursive reading, we lose so much of our skills,
Yeah.
verbal,
Yes.
everything.
And I also do another activity with the whole day camp that's there. And with that, they write stories in their book every day. So we gave them a little notebook, and they write a little story. It could be anything. Some of them wrote about My Little Pony. Some of them write about their day. It's anything like that.
Yeah.
And then on Fridays, we go on the radio at Care 4, the Seikaima, and they get to read them on the radio.
Wonderful idea.
We choose a few of them that have written stuff and are confident enough to go, and they get to read on the radio.
That would be exciting for them.
Yes.
And when you get to Toronto, you're
Yes.
going to have that many more judges and that much more competition and that
Yes.
much more of everything. What do you anticipate? You're not. You're more excited than nervous.
Yes.
But what, if anything, are you most nervous about?
I would say it would be the talent.
Oh,
Yes, because it's a style of dance that I don't normally do. So I'm doing a flamenco dance.
Oh,
Yes, it's a Spanish dance.
Yes, I know
Yes,
that one.
and it's because a few years ago I was an exchange student in Spain for 10 months.
beautiful.
Yes, so I decided why not give it a try and do something more.
I think it's exciting.
Yes.
So to get a
Challenge
costume,
yourself.
Yes, I do have a costume.
special costume and
Yeah.
music to go with it.
Yes.
You've been practicing.
Yeah, I've been practicing. It's just kind of something I haven't been doing.
No, because where would you
It's
find an
new.
instructor that would
Exactly.
teach you that here
Yeah.
in
I could do
Miramichi?
that.
I'm like, I mean, I watch Dancing with the Stars religiously. And I'm waiting for them to have Dancing for Stars in New Brunswick would be nice. Oh, I just love it. I can't wait to be able to, I'd love to be able to watch that
Yes.
live stream. Now,
Me
you leave
too.
tomorrow.
Yes.
So that's Tuesday, but the competition, the actual night is on the Sunday.
Yes.
So now what do you have to do in preparation
There's-
leading up? Is there different things that are happening?
During the week, there's the interview,
Okay.
and there's a photo shoot, a video shoot, and there's also a day that we go out and do activities.
Right.
We usually always go to the CN Tower, and then another activity depending on the sponsor.
Right.
And there's the preliminary competition, and there's the talent night, which is 2 different nights.
Oh my.
Yes,
lot.
a lot of rehearsals. We have
Posing
Yes.
and turning and to
Yes.
wear high heels the
Yes.
majority of the time.
yes, and there's opening number choreography that we have to learn. It's like a little dance.
Yes,
which is
that
always-
you all do together.
Yes, that we all do together for
Right.
the opening. There's usually a choreography for evening gown and a choreography for swimsuit.
Oh my.
So is there how many contestants? One for every province?
No, we're
No.
39.
39.
Yes, including myself.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
That's a big group of girls.
When I see this all panning out and when the outcome's the way you want it to be, which hopefully it will be, we will see you reigning. If not, it's just an amazing altogether
Yes.
experience, isn't it?
Yes, it's
And then
amazing.
if you should be crowned, or if not, again, it opens so many doors
Yes,
for the
of
future.
course. Yes.
I mean, look
No,
what you've
that
been
is it.
doing and how much you're representing our area
Areas,
and
yeah.
beyond in Miss New Brunswick,
Yes.
a teenage New Brunswick. So when you go to hire somebody with that kind of a background and positive enthusiasm and work ethic, and your platform's very very, very high end. You know, you're talking about an educated, not just a pretty girl, like I said, but an educated, driven young lady.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would hire somebody like Sarah.
Yeah, well, I don't think this day and age, I think there's still a stigma that goes with beauty pageants.
Definitely.
That people don't understand that it does not solely depend on looks at all
They
this
took
day and
that
age.
word out, beauty, altogether, didn't
A lot
they?
of pageants have taken that word out, yes.
So they should, really.
Yes.
Beauty's from within,
Yes.
to me.
Yeah,
Beauty, like,
exactly.
I mean, obviously a beautiful girl, but to not be about looks. To me,
No, it's
personality
personality
wins
and-
every time.
No, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And your goals and your personality and your, you know
Your
what I mean?
brain,
all
your
of
brain,
it. Yeah,
your thought
yeah.
power.
Education, your total package.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what
what it
they're
should
looking
be.
for.
Yeah, they definitely are looking for the total package. They're looking
Right.
for people who are confident on stage, who know how to fundraise, who can interview and talk to people and be very people.
Well, they're going to be the face
person.
of for
Yes.
an entire year
Yes.
of, you know,
They
the
do also
province.
need to be photogenic
Right.
because
They
of all
are.
the photo
Yeah.
ads. Yes.
With a
exactly.
good smile. And when you become a dentist one day, would you wear that crown to entice patients?
Maybe not.
I think
Hopefully, I have a bigger crown.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know, that's pretty impressive, that one right there,
Yes.
for sure.
But you
Definitely.
have great plans, again,
Yes.
like to go on further education. And that alone tells them that you're not just thinking short term, but you're
Yes.
thinking long term about your
Of
career.
course, yes.
And balancing it all so important. Like you seem to have it
Yes.
rounded out pretty well.
Yeah, I'm kind of used to it. In school, I was president of student council. I was in like 4 other committees. It was a lot of work, but I managed to...
Multitasking is your thing, it would
Yes,
appear.
I was balancing everything. I'm also a volunteer with the Girl Guides.
Amazing.
So I volunteered with the younger age group called Brownies. So
Now, are you finding that with this pageant now, believe it or not, we don't have much time left, but social media is making it so much, not easier, but that's a
Yes.
part of it that was never there before.
Yeah.
You have to put yourself out there and, you know what I mean, so that
Yeah.
people can follow along, which I think is great. But it's a whole other part that
Oh,
you have
yeah.
to add to it.
yes, I remember when I first started, when I was 12, they said no phones. Like, don't bring
Right.
your phone, leave it in the hotel room.
That's right.
But later on, now they're saying, bring your phone. We want you to blog about it. We want you to post on Instagram, post on Facebook.
Yeah.
So now they're telling you,
Get it out
get
there.
it out
I'd have
there.
to say,
Yes.
now, just from my recent competitions myself with the fitness, the last competition I did, I immediately went to Facebook and said, when I go, I'm going to do as much live feed as I can, because I'm not an Instagram
Yes.
girl, so that people could follow along.
Yes.
Because believe it or not, there's people who were looking to get into weight loss or fitness or have those things. There was people that were inspired by
liked it. I liked it.
And I knew that the promoters and those of the show weren't going to be against it because it only drove more
Yes.
interest in their
Exactly.
competition.
Yes,
right?
that's
So
why
it's
I love
win-win.
it. Yes,
Right?
It's
For sure.
amazing because like it promotes so many like different opportunities for the girls, and you get to learn about what goes to like those girls' hearts, so what touches them and what they advocate for. Because
No.
all of the girls have different platforms that they want to go
That's
for and different ways that they fundraise. So
Yeah.
it gives you more ideas, and it also opens the door for people who don't really know about pageants, and they get to learn about
That's
how
right.
you're
It
experiencing
makes it that much more exciting for the
Yes.
spectators to be able to see a little
Yes.
bit backstage.
So
we
one
want to.
question. What's your most redeeming quality?
redeeming.
Yes, your most fine quality.
I'd say my adventurousness.
All right.
Perfect. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Sarah,
for having
joining
me.
us
Thank you.
today. Thanks so much. And thank you to
Thank
our
you.
viewers for watching. Have a great day from all of us here at Have a Chat. See you next week.